guys, hello, welcome to Adiah Talks. I'm always using my hands. My name is Moadiah. I am many things, but anyway, I'm your girl, here to encourage you, here to have a chat. Today I have with me the superstar author. My guest here is
Chibundu Onuzo. I'm a writer and I am Nigerian.
Okay, so moving on to thinking about, so we talked about secondary school and life and all of that, but I guess the most interesting thing, I won't say the most interesting about you, like there's no most interesting thing, but like you are, very talented. You stepped out and wrote a book. Like it's not easy to, and this is not your only, this is your latest book,
yes,
right?
this is true. Actually, let me
well,
show you.
there are more books.
I'm just gonna go off camera. First novel, The Spider King's Daughter. This is The Spider King's Daughter translated into Spanish.
Wow.
La Hija del Rey. I don't know, I'm probably saying English. And this is The Spider King's Daughter translated into French as well. La Fille du Roi à René. So yes, that's my first novel. It's also in English, obviously. People sometimes they sit and they're like, oh wow, you wrote it again in Spanish. And I know, I got a translator.
They're like, oh my god, she speaks Spanish, she speaks French.
Let me not take down my brand price. I speak it. Yes, I speak it.
Wow, okay, so amazing. You stepped out and you wrote these. Like, how did you start? Like, how did you even think? I don't think I've even ever asked you this before, but how did you think? How did you discover I enjoy writing, or I'm an author, or I'm meant to be an author, and then think, okay, because it's one thing to enjoy something or understand that maybe you have a certain gift for something, but it's another thing to then take it to the next, take to the next level, or then think, okay, I'm going to do this and step out. And how did you go about that process, if there was a process?
So, as I said, I went to Corona Bagada, the Center of Excellence, and I had...
That's Lagos is the center of excellence, not Corona Bagada.
Well, that was what we sang in our anthem. Corona Bagada. So, I had really good English teachers. In fact, I can show these ones that Mr. Nofowoko was one of my... We used to call it composition back then. You know that subject, what I did for summer holidays, or what I want for Christmas.
Can I just tell you one experience I had?
Yeah, go on.
Somebody once copied me in primary school. I will never forget this. What I did for summer holiday. But the boy, he wasn't that smart that he copied me word for word. And you know how we used to start those compositions with, my name is blah blah. I'm not going to say my name. My name is Moadiah. I am 6 years old. He copied me. So like, my name is, he copied my name. I was like, at that point I was still, at that young age, I was still wise enough to be like, how could you just copy me? So anyway, so that was how,
Okay, so question, so you don't say your name. So it's not me that should be saying my name.
No, but this is the name you go by, right? Your name?
No, call me Chibisi.
No, I guess Moadiah is the name that, that, so it's one of my names basically, but it's the name I used to, when I'm referencing, talking to you guys. So your name as an author is Chibundu Onuzo.
But now I say vlogger, Chibisi.
Oh my god. Okay, so sorry Chibisi, I interrupted you. Talking about your compositions in school and how you started writing, etc. So Chibisi.
Yeah. So that was one of, and I love reading, and I also love composition. So and I'm one of those students, like they used to read out my composition for class. We thank God. So I had a lot of encouragement from my teachers. And I had a lot of books at home. My mom made sure, we weren't forced to read, but the material was there. And I think what my parents did a really good job of doing was they put a lot of things in our hands. And like, then whatever you were interested in, you would follow. So that's part of why I played the piano. So we all had piano lessons.
It's a very unique upbringing, I think, because I don't know, I don't think a lot of people had that thoughtful, like parents thinking that way of, and even now I think people think about how they raise their children, how can they bring out, the gifts in their children, understand what they're good at, but that's really unique.
But so people say I do a lot of things, and I do play the piano, and I do sing, and I do write. But there were other things. They took us to tennis lessons. I didn't end up being Serena Williams.
They took me to tennis too.
Exactly.
My dad was like, can't you play this tennis? I was like, I'm trying.
And so it's not everyone that
I still have my tennis racket at home anyway.
So some took and some didn't. So I read a lot. And I actually started writing my first novel when I was 10.
Wow.
But because, and I was saying this earlier, because we consumed a lot of Western television. A lot of the books I read were either British, like Mallory Towers, Enid Blyton, or they were American, like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Sweet Valley High. Oh my gosh,
Sweet Valley High. I remember. Sorry, there's a lot of memories for me. It's like I feel like almost like it's quite emotional, like, you know. Anyway, carry on.
So what happened was that I started setting my fiction abroad. So I was living in Lagos, and when I was growing up, because of the TV, and I'm sure you had the same, you couldn't wait to travel for school, like you couldn't wait to leave Nigeria, like, you know, and every time you went for summer holidays and you had to come back, you'd be like, no, they're taking me back to Africa.
It wasn't quite like that.
No, I remember like being on the
know
bus
what you mean.
and seeing those back to school posters, and I'd be like, why can't I be going back to school here?
Oh really?
I use gel pen and I use ruler. Why am I going back to that yellow wooden ruler? I want to be using this. I want to be in this environment.
In my school was plush, but anyway, it's fine.
See this one with that Cartoon Network phonetics. Anyways. So even though I was writing in Nigeria, I was setting my fiction abroad in America, and my characters were white as well. And so you don't actually realize what a psychological dislocation it is that you are writing, and you are writing, because in writing sometimes there's something called the first person where you write from I, and so you're writing from the point of a character using I, and your default character that you're writing is a white American. Like and as a 10-year-old, you've already imbibed all these things that it's not conscious. Nobody has ever told you like American is better. They've not said it in those words. But because of all the media you're consuming, you're like, the world is happening somewhere else, and I want to be part of that world. And so I mean, my mom told me to write about what I know, and I was like, what do you know? Obviously, I did not hit at my mom. I had home training, but like in my head, I was like, no. I will continue writing my white characters. Thank you.
So did she like read it and think, was she trying to say you're not writing about what you know? Or did she pick that up, or was she just trying to give you advice as opposed to? Is it that she saw that and was like concerned and was like, write about what you know?
No, she wasn't concerned. My parents are very they're honest. So she read it and she was like, this is boring. That's why are you writing about this America? Like you've been to America once or twice, but as in. You don't really know
your reality.
Yeah, you don't. So and it comes across in what as you're reading it. It's obvious you don't know what you're talking about.
It's like any art form. If you're not true to yourself, but you're not true. It comes across. It's obvious.
It's obvious that you don't know what you're talking exactly. So that, and I wrote in Corona was great for me creatively.
Right.
Atlantico was terrible. Not to say, as I say, I would say Atlantico was a great school for the sciences, great school if you want to end up being an engineer, if you want to end up being an accountant. Yes, Atlantico was a great school. But creatively, like, the library in our school, you couldn't borrow books. I don't know what they thought that place was. A book storage center. I said, hey.
So what, you were meant to read the books in the library?
In the library. Maybe
they didn't want people to borrow because of taking books and stuff and not returning them.
They don't call it a library. Just call it a book prison. A book prison. Not books.
A book center.
A prison. The books cannot leave. I said, what is this? So I didn't really write there, and I feel like also I was concerned about survival, making sure I got my calorie allowance for the day. And that's thing about bullying, you know. And luckily for me, I had a good senior on my table. But if you had a bad senior, you will not eat protein for 1 week, or you will still develop, because they will be obtaining your meat. Stealing. Let me stop saying obtaining. We like to use words that are not the true thing. So yeah, that was how I started. But I started writing.
So, question on like what I normally talk about on my vlog, and a lot of things have to do with faith. So how would you say that your faith has, in terms of you now being, you know, an author? Because I guess the thing about it is we have I don't like categorizing things into like secular and like, I just feel like we should bring our faith into everything. Like it should be intertwined, like not intertwined like water it down, but more like it's your everyday. So it shouldn't be like people think I have a secular job on Monday to Friday and then I do this in church. Like it should all be so I guess why people maybe try to box it is the reality of like, you know, every day you go to a job that, you know, either you have a 9 to 5 or you're doing something, or you know, in the publishing world, you know, you're an author that, you know, like you're not come out as a Christian author, like, you know, a Christian. When I say Christian author, like you're not writing Christian books
I'm
specifically.
not Francine Rivers.
Exactly. Right, so you're now in the kind of broader world, you know, with everybody else, if that makes sense. And you are then trying to like, what role does your kind of faith play, or how do you kind of balance it, or do you also feel like you have a role of, you know, bringing people to Christ? Like, how do you then apply that in your day? Do you have a conscious way of doing it, or like, yeah? Does my question make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. I guess there are many strands to it. So when I'm a Christian that writes fiction, but I mean, I don't want to say that I write Christian fiction in the sense that somebody might be expecting And the Shofar Blue,
right?
And which is a novel I enjoyed, but it's not what my writing is. How I bring my faith into what I write is my vision of the world.
Okay.
And you can see an author's viewpoint of the world in the way they construct the world. So there's some authors that you read their books and you think, you know, this person has a cynical view of the world. They don't believe there's redemption, they don't believe in grace, and it's not that there are no wicked characters, or it's not about that. It's just about their conception and their viewpoint, and somebody's worldview comes across in their fiction, and so in my books, I mean, one reviewer called me optimistic/naive.
Oh wow. It's easy, well, as a, you know, Christian writer, or as a, when I say Christian writer, I'm referring to people that write Christian books, or you know, as a, even if you're a musician and you're a Christian musician versus not being as obviously a Christian musician, I'm always interested in people's viewpoint as to, you know, how they therefore, because I actually think it's more, I won't say difficult, or more challenging or there's a different sort of challenge when you are like trying. So if I take a musician for instance, if someone is not a gospel singer or a Christian musician, but they're a Christian, I actually think it's actually more like what do they do, like what are the moral filters, like, you know, I mean, how do they, because, you know, if you want to be, you know, you're consciously trying to live as a Christian, then how do you apply, like, what do you do in life? Like, are people very conscious of it? Do you just let it, yeah, people have different ways of doing it. Like, they have their standards of things they will not do, which, you know, is good, that's how they do it, or they kind of play each situation as it comes, and, you know, let the Holy Spirit guide them. Like, I'm just interested in, like, you know, I guess it's different. But
going to music, again, I feel it's the same thing in that your Christian viewpoint influences, for example, how you write about relationships.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you mention God. Now, a theologian can correct me if I'm wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, there is no direct mention of God in Songs of Solomon, but it is in the Bible.
Yeah.
it is in the Bible.
Yeah.
So it's like you can sing a song about relationship. Like, there's a Christian view on breakups. You know, there's a Christian view on whatever.
But why I'm drawing that out is it's important to get people to see that viewpoint, because some people go through the extreme of like, we can't talk about these things, like it shouldn't, you know, and it's like, I'm a firm believer in, you know, we need to go out, we need to preach the gospel, we need to be in the like in the sense of, you know, people, like, we need to be there, we need to be out in the world. But, you know, some people talk about certain things, and when they talk about it, you're thinking, okay, you just want to be in the four walls of the church, and you don't want to, like, you know, spread it. So it's always good to kind of hear the viewpoint of someone who's doing something a bit out of the box, but you know, you've got your Christian, you're Christian, so you've got, you know, you've got that. When I say out of the box, I'm just using that as a description, but you've got your
box. The box.
Okay, but it's just
so yes, you know, in the Garden of Eden, you had the whole garden, but two places that you could not touch. But whereas we behave, and sometimes because of, like, you know, culture mixed with religion and mixed with a lot of other things, we behave as if there's only two places we can stay, and then we're locked up from the rest of the garden.
The world is your oyster.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the point. Like, we need to really, as Christians, people living for Christ, it's extremely important to, like, spread our wings. Like, we need to be in every corner, in every industry, in every, you know, mountain. As they say, there's 7 mountains: the entertainment, governments. Like, we need to be everywhere and not box ourselves. I know.
I don't know which mountain she's talking about.
Anyway,
I them in Corona.
It's not just the real thing. Anyway, so it's important, because I think, you know, boxing yourself is not doing. I'm a personal, like, my pet peeve in life, if you know me, and my best friends know this, is being put in a box. It's like, if you put me in a box, automatically I'm going to rebel. Like, the moment I feel like you've placed me somewhere in your mind that this is what you're good for, this is what I'm like rebel. I have to like prove you wrong. It's almost like, no, like, we shouldn't be boxed. But we're all made, you know, in God's image. We're all made with different gifts, abilities, and things. And there's sometimes a mixture of things. So just because somebody does this a certain way, and because I do something similar, doesn't mean I'm going to be this, or this is a model I need to follow, you know. And I think, you know, it's important to be a pioneer. I think that people, you know, there are few people who have the pioneering spirit, but some people are like, I want to follow the path of what somebody else did. I just need to follow the path. It's like, no, create your own, walk in your own path.
I think there's nothing wrong with following the path, in the sense that, you know, the disciples were followers of Jesus,
of course,
but in that you can see something and admire it, but as you are following, like, your own innovations will also happen.
That's what I mean.
Also happen, yeah.
But my point about following path is more a case of, like, people are like, maybe you're this, right? There's these people that have gone before you, and this is how they did it, so this is how you too must do it. Pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I do the same thing as them. I admire them. I look up to them. You know, I'm giving them all the credit they deserve, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to do this a certain way, because there's something different in me. Like, you know, there's a sound that surrounds every one of us, like what we carry. So what I carry is different from what Chibs carries, different from what, you know, my other friend carries. Like, it's all very different. So it's just breaking out the box, basically. So I want to congratulate you, Chibs, for breaking out the box. I just made it up. And again, this is her latest book. Welcome to Lagos.
They know my story.
Hey.
Well, not ni Corona Bagada.
Hey, Corona VI.
Please.
Show more my story.
I beg.
My grandma is in it.
Wonky.
And there are reasons for that. Anyway, well, Tim, so we haven't answered that question of what's next.
What's next?
You said you're writing a book.
Yes, I'm writing a book.
I'm sure there's more.
I'm hoping to do more singing, so I am a singer as well.
Yeah.
Should we sing for them?
What do you want us to sing? Hey.
See a choir member is saying, what do you want us to sing?
What do you want me to sing now?
Let's sing something.
There's pressure.
Amazing Grace. In harmony.
Shay. Okay. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Okay.
That was bad, actually.
Wasn't too bad. I've not sung for a while.
Come out of the box.
I'm stepping out. So I'm stepping out. So I'm working on that recording. I've been on a bit of a break, but I'm gonna start singing more regularly. But you're doing a bit of singing. Exciting!
Yes, hopefully more singing.
Invite me to sing now for you. Hey,
no problem.
I did some classical training. Did you know that? Back in the day, I did some in Muson Center. I also did some when I moved to London. Can't remember most of it.
Yeah, you're a very soprano.
So singing. What else?
Singing. And we'll see. Actually, I've just finished my PhD, so I'm now doctor.
Hey, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I have just.
I'm sorry. I'm going to title this video Dr. Chibundu Onuzo.
Anyhow,
what do you think is your dad?
But or my mom is also a doctor. Everyday sexism, right there.
I'm sorry, no,
Right
but
there.
it's Dr. Onuzo, like that's what I know your dad is now.
My
so
mom
that's
is
what-
also a doctor.
Okay, doctor. I'm not sure. Is she? Are they both medical doctors?
Yes.
Oh wow. But they Luth.
No, they met in UN.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know somebody that's a doctor, was a doctor in Luth. I won't talk about him, but anyway. It's my dad. anyway, so you're working on a new book. You are doing some music as well. You're going to invite Mo to be part of the music situation. What else?
And then what do you mean Nigerians and what else? You say I'm becoming president next week. What else?
What else now?
Your mates are president of 5 countries.
You.
You're just a president of one. You don't have ambition.
After all the money that I sent you to school with, it's true. Nigerian parents.
What else? Am I not right? I said PhD. What else?
I'm just checking now. If there's something you are not telling us, I want to be aware. Yes, now, but what else? If there's something I need to know, it's better.
Well, no, we'll just see. Like, I want to travel more. Now that I finished. Still, I'm not even speaking for more. You know,
she's gonna be traveling.
I'm ready to travel.
The world. I love traveling.
I think I haven't done. I mean, I've traveled a lot for work. I've been to South Korea. There's a school in South Korea that uses one of my novels as a textbook.
Wow.
So I've traveled for like work and writing.
That's amazing.
Thank God. But I tried to. When I've just been elected a fellow of the Royal Society of Literature.
Oh, I think I saw something with you and Camilla.
Yes, with the Duchess. Please,
that's
the Duchess of Cornwall to you.
I'm sorry. No, but I'm fancy now. You know I'm a princess.
And Uncle Charles.
Uncle Charles. It's true now.
And even Mama Chale also.
Oh, it's true now. I mean, Mama. Baoni. That's how I greet her when I say Mama.
When you see her, can you imagine? When you see her, this corona band always coming up with stories. I told you they learned their phonetics on the TV. They now said, I went for summer.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we will keep an eye out for what else is happening.
Oh yes, and please follow me on Instagram at chibundu.onuzo, on Twitter at Chibundu Onuzo, on Facebook at Chibundu Onuzo, and I don't have Snapchat because it's not even bandwagon that you jump on.
It's true, but it's a lot of work maintaining all the, but all her social media details will be in the description, and I will put them at the bottom so you can follow her. But it's been great having you. I thoroughly enjoyed our chat. We just had a chat. We actually had no agenda, in all honesty. We just were like, okay, let's just talk life, and it just flowed. It was really cool.
Well, I had an agenda. Cool. Corona Bagada is the best. I
didn't. Well, clearly they come with agendas. Were you trying to do something over there? Well, guys, thank you again for joining us. I want y'all to like, to share, to subscribe. So share it with people. Bless somebody. I know and I believe that it will bless them tremendously. And thank you guys for joining us on our chit chat and just being great viewers. Comment, let us talk. Let me know if you went to the real Corona. That's what I would like to find out. If you went to the real Corona, not the bootleg ones.
No NAFDAC number.
Anyway, okay guys, it's been great having you here. Subscribe to the vlog. We talk about different things. Check out the other videos and the other people we're going to be catching up with. We have loads and loads of exciting things in store. You can watch some of my music videos, etc. Just enjoy yourself. So take care and God bless. Remember to be the best version of you. Made that up now, but that's what came to me. Be the best version of you. Okay. So take care. Thank you, Chip.